Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for joining us here at Tatler Talks. My name is Anton San Diego. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Tatler Philippines, and I'll be your host tonight. Before we start, just want to ask you to get a copy of the October issue of Tatler, our big fashion issue, which has this much-awaited Asia's Most Stylish list, over 75 pages of stylish men and women in Asia, including 8 from the Philippines. You can download it for free on Magster. And if you prefer a print copy, just like me, please email mark@tatlerphilippines.com. So this is out now. Tonight is very special as we are partnering with HSBC, who, by the way, is celebrating their 145th year in the country. Their campaign is Together, Let's Love Local. And we are doing just that as we celebrate Filipino talent, creativity, and find out the state of the Philippine fashion industry. As you all know, COVID-19 has turned the world upside down, shaking almost all industries to the core. Global and local fashion industry is feeling the impact as well. Tonight, we catch up with 5 of the brightest stars in the fashion industry and ask them how they are keeping their businesses afloat and keeping the fashion industry alive and thriving. We actually had this conversation. It's also in the October issue, but it was so informative and so inspiring, we had to do it again. So we're going to start off in alphabetical order. Please welcome Patty Ang, Mark Bumgarner,
Hi.
Rajo Laurel, Dennis Lustico, and Vania Romoff.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Hi. Hi.
Nice to see you guys again. So let's start off, Patty. How are you? How have you been coping? What's
Good.
happening?
Still alive?
Where are you now?
Figure out Sorry?
Where are you? Are you home?
I'm actually at my dad's house. It's my little sister's birthday.
Oh, okay. Great seeing you. Mark, how are you?
I'm good. Still working. I'm at my
I can tell
studio
from
now.
I love your painting at the back.
Thank you.
Rajo, how are you? I just saw you recently.
Yeah, thanks
You're
for
not in the-
supporting Katipo.
I know, and you're not in the beach.
No, I'm in the city.
But by the way, I love all your beach photos and your cooking. You must be an expert by now. Dennis, haven't seen you since the beach as well. How are you?
I'm good. Starting to work, regularly. It's nice.
Are you home or are you in your studio? Are you in your?
I'm in our office, the New Mood Online office in Bel Air.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And Vanya, I just heard fantastic news about you. Twins?
Yes.
Wow. So how many kids do you have now?
Well, I only have one daughter, so this would have been the second pregnancy and the second kid, but now instant family of 5.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's start off. Patty, let's start off with you. For you, how has the pandemic affected the fashion industry and your business?
Well, it's hard, no? Because we do not have events anymore. There's no more gatherings. There's no more weddings is also a big thing. So yeah, it's quite hard that, especially custom made is really what's making our business as well. Um, but I think it's slowly coming back. Um, so we're just making the most out of things that we can do right now. In terms of branding as well, that's what we're focusing on.
Yeah. How about you, Mark?
I mean, similar to what Patty said, I mean, it's just really trying to um, get back to the old groove. I mean, it's still very slow right now, but it's also at the same time given us time to kind of rethink how we used to do things. A lot of things now we're trying to figure out how to do in less of an excess as we're used to. So it's a good learning experience as well.
Yeah. Raho?
Well, echoing what Mark and Patty said, essentially now is the time to reevaluate the situation and I guess in my case relearn bad habits and figure out how to proceed in a more thoughtful manner and really reimagine the rat race that we were all in. I mean, if you actually
Yeah.
think about it, that was just all made up, and now we need to really focus on how we can perhaps, given that opportunity, start and reset and learn from all of this experience.
Great. Dennis?
It was a bit shocking at first in the first 2 months, I think, because it stopped completely. I mean, we come from a time wherein we were asking before of an extra day, extra hour because of too many things that we're doing, and then we're caught up in so many deadlines, and then suddenly it completely stopped. And right now, after 2 months, I mean, after several months, we're getting back slowly. And then I have some of my staff right now at the shop. So, yeah, getting there, going back slowly, and then, yeah, making the most of what we have right now.
Yeah. And Vanya?
Well, I think it's basically the same thing that everyone else said. It's just right now it's about resetting, reevaluating, and
Sorry,
as
Vanya. Can I just say, Vanya, can
yeah.
you go closer? We can hear you. Yeah.
So now it's just about resetting and reevaluating. It's been a few months now. What we thought would have been a temporary change in the industry or in the world has become what seems like the new normal. And so right now, all we have to do is really readjust. And for us at least, it's been really just slowing down and just sort of figuring out what to do next. So it's all really a
Yeah.
day-to-day experience for us as a company.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone can answer this question. What adjustments did you do in the beginning of the lockdown? And what changes do you continue implementing now? Anyone want to answer that?
Well, for me, before my all my staff would report every day, and I have no stay-ins. But then, as we slowly to come back, I mean, coming back to the shop, we slowly started the operation. Asked my staff to stay at the shop for,
Yeah.
let's say, a month or two, and then go into vacation for 2 weeks, and then come back after, and then have a swab test. These are some of the changes right now that we do have.
Yeah. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to
For
chime
us,
in?
I think, yeah.
Well, yeah.
go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead,
go
Vanya.
ahead.
Vanya, go ahead.
I mean, just
Vanya,
for
go
us,
ahead. Yeah.
it's safety protocols, like implementing that and continuing to implement that. And it's also, changes in processes like online consults that we thought were a band-aid solution has now become the norm for us. So less and less physical contact, even measurements with our clients. It's more becoming, I would say, a bit more digital now. And as much as we didn't think that it would get to this point, everything has become um, focus. Not everything, but most of it has become the focus has become online, even for our sales. So yeah, it's been a shift.
Yeah. Okay. Who's that? Raho wanted to say something, or was it
I
Mark?
mean, yeah, in my
Yeah.
case, it was really all about embracing technology. I mean, for many, many years now, I've been sort of like afraid to sort of like really embrace technology because, essentially I'm not that young anymore, but this has given me the opportunity to sort of like use the tools that are there. And because in the beginning of the pandemic, I was really away from my studio, but we were able to sort of like be productive because of these technologies that are available. For instance, we made the very first Philippine online fashion show with Robbie Carmona, presenting a new collection together with an online platform. And right
Yeah.
now, essentially, uh, in my case anyway, really given that particular fortitude of engagement in terms of giving my team that strength to continue with their own particular talents. I was the type of manager and designer who would always hover around their little ducklings. But because of this
Yeah.
pandemic, I really learned to trust my people, and it's been great so far. So those are my personal learnings: is embracing technology and trusting the process in terms of why the people are there, and symbiotically we work together because of that.
Yeah. Great. Um, Mark, has your designs evolved during the pandemic, and how do you keep being creative?
Well, well, of course, the designs have changed a lot, but with these times, even with the lack of inspiration, you just gotta keep, you know, trying to create new things and trying to think of the next, what people need next. In terms of my couture, my custom, I'm still like continuing doing that. I'm currently working on my holiday collection. At the same time, still working on the other collections like the PPEs and stuff.
Yeah. Patty, do you want to answer that too? Has your designs evolved
Yeah.
during the pandemic, and how do you keep being
Well, in
creative?
terms of this, yeah, in terms of design, I think everyone has, we all have our own aesthetic, and as an artist, we stick with that one. But in terms of reaching out to the clients, how we want to make them feel comfortable. So what's next? What would they wear now? What would they want now? We have to think of that next step again, because there's our we're not couture. There's not no couture right now. There's no events. There's no nothing. So it's more of now like what people want. We need to listen to the people in terms of what they want, and we have to provide that to them.
But you know what's funny is that I've seen a lot of, well, smaller weddings, right? There's like 20, 25, and they're pursuing their dream, I guess. Every bride's dream. How is that like? I mean, well, love goes on, life goes on. Have you been doing some weddings as well in the last 6, 7 months? Has anyone done any weddings?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
they're more
Yes.
simplified. No.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot civil weddings are
Yes.
are big now. Smaller, more intimate, 20, 30 people, gatherings. So to mirror that, a lot of brides also sort of figure out to tone down, their gown. Like I would have a bride that I've designed a full, say, ball gown for, and they come back to me
Yeah.
and say, I don't think that this wedding is happening just yet. And we take that design and rethink it. I still really like it, but can we make it in such a way that it fits, the occasion? So it's all about just, again, adjusting to the concept of what is an intimate wedding.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Anyone else want to add on to the any brides that you've done so far in the last 6, 7 months?
None for me.
None.
They were moved next year.
Ah, okay.
I mean, as you said, Anton, life goes on. And
Yeah,
Yes.
essentially, what
Yes.
changes really is appropriateness. Of course, garner the long trains, garner, people are also sensitive to the times. But life does
Yeah.
go on, and we should continue. And I think fashion right now is even made more meaningful because of this particular time. And as I said before, you have to remember during the time of pandemic, or during the time when the world is really in chaos, us creatives actually shine, because it is this dark time wherein the creatives create more. We are more introspective, we are more thoughtful, we are actually more creative now. I think I'm more creative now more than ever.
Yeah. So I think Patty was the one speaking about inspiration earlier. But where do you guys get your sources of inspiration now? I'm sure it's as more limited, but do you see it in nature? Do you see it in your family, your loved ones?
I
For
Emily in
personally,
Paris?
travel,
per- personally, I mean, I answer to the sensibility of the times. I mean, the people right now, what they see, the simplicity of life at the moment.
Yeah.
So my designs are geared in that direction. It's more like comfort and being calm and at peace, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And this is a question that I love from the last time we spoke, and then it's about people getting together. I know all of you guys are friends, but are you guys helping each other out somehow? There's a united front. I know a lot of people have bonded together. Like Dennis, you were saying that you have the mood online, and Raho, you
Yeah,
did the
yeah.
first show, and everyone coming together. I think like from directors to all the artistic people. How about you guys? Is there a common thread? Are you sharing each other's woes and triumphs and stuff like
Uh,
this?
the the new mode online actually. The hello.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Uh,
Okay, go
with
ahead, Dennis.
with new mode online, actually, our primary purpose is to help designers right now, and coupled with it, together with the designers, of course, the staff that they have. So at the moment, we're in that mindset to be able to give them jobs, no matter how small, but at least it gives an encouragement to go on and to have an activity, a purpose, and hope that you know months from now we will go back to normal. Yeah, that's our
Yeah,
mission at the moment. Yeah.
Vanya.
And what
Vanya,
I
you
was
wanted to say
saying,
something?
yeah, no, all of us are friends, and obviously, like, because we're in the same industry, we find ourselves, at least even more so during the start of the pandemic, sort of just asking how we are, figuring things out together, and because there's so many things that we as designers go through collectively, like, how do we source fabrics, for example, or how do we keep a full staff if demand is cut in more than half? All of these things, come together and contribute to each other, because we're probably the only ones who understand, who are in our positions right now. So even more so now, as a community, we are coming together just to figure out how to go about, or how to weave ourselves through this pandemic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Another
I mean,
question I'm curious about. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, Patty. Go ahead,
no,
Patty.
I mean, with helping each other, yeah. Especially, I remember during the first months of the quarantine, of course, we would call each other. You know what? Everything was at pause, and then once it was slowly getting back, we would ask each other what the plan is, how will the workforce be, um, do we accept this, do we accept that? In that little way, we show support to each other,
Yeah.
even through the supplies, I guess. There was a time that, of course, the supply chain already was also being hit.
Deplete.
As
Yeah.
little as, do you have a zipper I can borrow, or do you have this material? So in that little ways, I think it's great that we get to help each other.
That's great. Mark, you want to say something?
Well,
Mark?
similar to Patty and Vanya, like during after the first like major part of the lockdown, when we were kind of slowly about to start, when we could actually go to our studios already, we were sort of like messaging each other like questions, left and right, things about again production, things about how to handle and manage the staff, and also it just basically asking like what's happening, what next. And I think we all kind of got on that like that mood at the same time, because we all kind of woke up at the same time again from our forced leave, as you'd say.
Yeah. Yes.
But when it was time to get back and get going, I mean, we were all pretty quick on our feet to come up with different things, that's true to our
Yeah.
aesthetic.
My
I
question is
mean,
also, I know, oh, go ahead, Rahul. Rahul,
no,
go
I
ahead.
just want to sort of like reiterate that what we do have in the Philippines is a living, breathing community of of creatives, and in many ways we are connected. I mean, if you think about it, we are actually just one group, and this really forced us to really analyze each other and analyze even more closer. I mean, we were talking about this thing called collective, the collective group, which essentially helps one another in many ways by sharing information, by talking to government, by really figuring out how we can move forward.
That is amazing. I think if this was happening in the 70s, 80s, Rahul, right, may not happen. Like from our last conversation, you said
Most
Anton,
likely.
it's a
people are
different.
hindi pa buhay.
I know some of these people are not, but there is it's a different breed of different breed of designers, which is great. I mean, that's fantastic. I know now online is like everyone is online. It's the most prolific thing at the moment. I know is everyone online? Yeah, is everyone's online. How is it doing? Patty, you want to start with you?
Well, it's do I think people are slowly learning how to do online, but fashion shopping, I think it's the experience that makes it a whole. It's having the relationship with the outfit, with the people. It's very much different, but of course now we're relying on shopping online, e-commerce. So it is
Yeah.
going well. I think it depends which one. Again, what do people want? What do people need right now as of the
What do
moment?
people want? Are they all looking for
I think right
athleisure
now
wear? Are they looking for lounge wear? What
I
are
think
people
they're
wearing?
they're looking for comfort. They're looking for comfort clothing,
Yeah.
especially in this uncomfortable time. Everyone's looking for this little bit of comfort. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would say like loungewear and everything just casual, fresh feeling, looking stuff. So yeah.
It's perfect for the garden as well because there's so many plantitos and plantitas as well. And
Budding landscape artists.
exactly. Anyone want to chime in about their online presence?
Um,
We at oh, go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, Rahul.
no, essentially, we also should sort of realize that this is an opportunity. Of course, it's not the same. Fashion, by its very nature, is a very sensual experience, very visceral. You essentially invoke all your senses when you are creating. The way the fabric feels, the way it looks, the way it, touches your skin. In fact, even the way silk smells, it's very, very different. And sometimes you cannot translate that online.
Replicate. Yeah.
Right now, that what can we do? However, if
Yeah.
you think about it, this is also the opportunity where internationally, globally, we're all on the same level. We're all in the same field because nobody can do anything. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, I'm using that window of opportunity to sort of like try to penetrate and getting a wider audience because the medium is present. So I mean,
Yes.
in fact, it's very interesting because I was very lucky. All of a sudden, I don't know if it's just because of this pandemic, I'm being featured in L'Officiel USA. I've been in Elle magazine. I mean, it's very interesting that all of these sort of like opportunities are there. They call me, they see me on Instagram. I'm sure Mark is the same. I mean, and Vania and everybody's the same time. So it's interesting for my little team to sort of like get these emails from these publication and say, hey, could you send this dress? And said, okay. You know, I mean, it's interesting because it widens the playing field, and it's exciting because I wouldn't get
Yeah.
that from these publications before. I would have to go through many channels in order to land opportunities like this. But now all of a sudden, you know, okay, you know, it's exciting. But I mean, for me, it opens the playing field. It widens the horizon because people are not just looking to their own little backyards anymore. They're realizing that there are designers from Zimbabwe, from Nigeria, and of course Manila.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know, Mark, you have great online presence with your customers in was it Paris or Saudi Arabia or Middle East
Well,
or
I mean, my international client base now is actually starting to slowly come back. Because I mean, unlike us, they're more open now. They're starting to have a few more events here and there. So we were starting to feel that about the past month. Because we're starting to get orders as well for, you know, within the next few months. But in terms of like weddings and stuff, it's still not the same as well. So we're used to them ordering, you know, those very grand ball gowns and stuff for a wedding of 1,000 to 1,500 people. So a little similar to us. So it's still scaling down. But I'm glad, you know, during these times they're still thinking about us here in the Philippines, and they're not forgetting about us as well.
yeah, amazing. Dennis, you wanted to say something. Sorry.
No, no, I'm just want to say that because of this pandemic, the period that we're in right now, I'm learning a lot about online marketing and analytics and how to sort of make your e-commerce site interesting. It's a learning experience for me, which I'm very thankful for actually.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot from my partners. That's why, and so it's been something really special.
For sure. But Patty, you're back. Nice to see you
Sorry.
again. No worries. We thought we lost you there for a moment, but I'm glad you're back. Hey, it's holiday seasons coming up, and there's so many bazaars. We just had Katutubo last week. There's Artefino this week, I think, and I think there's a designers holiday bazaar in Greenbelt on November 18th. Are you guys? I know Rahul, you're part of it, but are you guys joining these bazaars? Because some of them are online as well, huh? Like Artefino, I think is online. Are you guys joining these bazaars?
No, I'm
Me,
not. I'm
No,
not.
no, no.
no,
No.
also, yeah.
I am. I need the work. I am.
They were
As far
working
as
also somewhere
I'm
else.
gonna, I'm basically just trying everything out. I'm the type of person that when an opportunity comes, I'm gonna grab it by the horns and see how it comes
Yeah.
out. I mean, I realized in my long time here in the industry that there's nothing to lose, but you just have to try. So obviously, it's just about trying, and it keeps me busy and keeps me on my toes. So yes, we're joining the Artefino Fair, which starts tomorrow. It's online. We just finished Katutubo, and we're launching my holiday collection next week. So you know, we're trying to keep busy. Essentially, as I said, life goes on. We should not be fearful. We should work steadfast and continue because this is just a hurdle. Just like any war, this will end. And when we end,
Yeah.
those who are positive will come out triumphant.
Great. And you guys are not joining any bazaars, nothing. But are you doing your holiday collections as well? Are you? Is it coming out soon? Any of you?
Yes.
You wanna shamelessly plug it now? Patty, when is it coming out?
Yes, so we're also doing a new collection. We're maybe in a month. We're gonna launch it this month, but then we're having new ready to wears too for the holidays. That will be available online and also in the retail store. And I do also have this another baby brand. It's called Baton. So we're gonna do pop ups here and there as well, and it's also going really strong online. It's more of basic essentials that we need right now, comfort clothing. So we're very excited about that.
Great. Vanya, you?
The same thing.
Vanya?
Yeah. Hi. So it's the
Yeah.
same. We're also working on a holiday collection. But we decided, of course, like with everything else, we scaled it down. We really edited this time instead of coming out with like a, like more. We've learned to scale down and do less. But at the same time, we also explored other things like this week we're going to launch because we did start, and like everyone else here, I think we had our outerwear collection, right? Which was
Yeah.
basically our first capsule that was priced lower than our regular pieces. And so we've expanded that essentials capsule into other things essentially. And so basically now we will be launching accessories. So we are starting out with a very clean, simple shoe line, which is already coming out this weekend. So we'll see how that works out. But like I said, like everyone's just adapting, and so we're also hoping that this, pans out well for us.
And that's going to be available online as well in your
Yes,
website
and in the store.
and your store. Okay. And Dennis, you?
We I mean, I do
Your
made to
holiday
order, so
collection?
I do made to
Yeah.
order. So basically, I don't do spring, summer, or holiday collection. Except that in of course I have to talk about
Mood?
new mood again. So we launched it already, and then we're coming up with pocket collection every now and then towards the holiday, towards December. Yeah.
Okay. And Mark, you?
Yeah, similar to the girls. Probably gonna launch it in a month's time. Trying to kind of slow down a little and get back to work now.
Yeah. Okay, this is, I think, important for a lot of people who want to join the fashion or
Wait,
be a
wait,
part
wait,
of the fashion.
Anton.
Yes, Raho, you have
Wait.
more. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have to. I'm launching my holiday collection next week. I launched a home line. I have furniture.
Yes.
Oh, I saw
Oh
that.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Congrats.
We have a home line at Rajo Home, and I think by the first week of November, I have a full home line with what do you call this? Placemats, napkins,
That's
everything. So
great.
for the home, so we're just really trying.
But furniture, like everything from sofas to
I love
beds
Yeah,
and everything.
like around
I have bar cards. That's a bar cabinet. So
yeah.
I taga Cebu. I collaborated with Pacific Traders. They're a wonderful company based in Cebu.
Amazing.
Okay, now
Yeah,
that you
so
mentioned it, I also have a home line going out.
Good for you. What's your home line, Mark?
Yeah, the same. We're launching it at the end of the month, and it's a collaboration with Moss Home. We've been working on it for the past 8 months, and it's everything from wallpaper that I sketched or painted, and furnitures as well.
see, isn't that
Fantastic.
amazing?
Exciting.
It's amazing. It's a
Very nice.
everyone is going through.
Next year, I'm collaborating with I feel like someone from Cebu, a furniture designer from Cebu, and we're collaborating on a furniture line for babies in nursery.
Oh,
Perfect.
Wow.
So nice.
Perfect.
That's
Next
exciting.
year,
Fantastic.
everyone's already spilling the beans. I'm like, well, we have one too, but
Yeah,
next
why
year.
not? Something to look forward
Of course.
to. Diba?
It's
Dennis
the
will
best
look also.
thing. Good news. Wait, Ro, I want to ask you, what about Nick? Nick has his own furniture line too. Are you collaborating as well?
Yeah,
Together. You're
absolutely.
doing together.
He gave me lots of advice, And I'm lucky to have somebody like him who will hold my hand in this brand new adventure.
Hmm.
Great. Okay, I was gonna say earlier, a lot of people want to be part of the fashion industry, and I was just thinking about what about all the young designers who want to be, be in fashion? What's your advice for them at the moment? Let's start with Dennis.
Study. That's the first thing that we have to do actually, and experiment. Be curious. Take time to hone your talent. Persevere. Have a lot of discipline. Uh, don't think about fame. Think of the work because fashion is all about work
Yeah,
and it's business.
true. Anyone want to add to that? Advice for the young designers? None.
Oh no,
Okay.
I
Ah,
was waiting. Just
Raho,
don't
you
be
want
in
to
a
add
hurry.
something to that? Yeah.
Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Being a young designer and being in school, that's the most exciting part about it because you're free. You're free to dream. You're free to create. You're free to not think about anybody else but your own creation. When you get to our point, there's so many factors to consider: the happiness of the client, the happiness of the bottom line, the happiness of your employees. But when you're a starting designer, your only happiness is yourself. So take your time and harness this happiness and use that energy to dream and to create beautiful things because that only happens once when you're a young designer.
That's true. So true.
I
So
agree.
what makes yeah, so what makes Filipino creativity and artistry unique? Patty, you want to say add to that?
I
What makes
think
Filipino creativity and artistry unique?
I
Yeah,
think our uniqueness.
go ahead.
I think everyone holds a different uniqueness, no, of how we get inspired and be inspired. But for me, I think it's also our culture, how we see things, how and everything that we have here, like from the materials to the people who make these crafts. So yeah, as Filipinos, there's so many things we can think of and be inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanya, do you want to say something? Or Mark?
Yeah. So with being, Filipino creatives are very unique because we're able to infuse traditional and global trends together. Because I mean, at the same time, a lot of Filipino creatives are tastemakers, So it's more of a challenge right now to do these things, but we're always out there, and a lot of us are always putting out our best, and very proud of being Filipino creators as well.
Yeah. Vanya, you want to say something?
So I think being Filipino makes it, you know, being a Filipino creative rather is such a unique thing because we come from such a wonderful place where you can get inspired by so many things. And there are so many cultures that, influence us. And, just being part of a community as unique and as beautiful as this is something that really is reflected. You'll see that the Philippines, people in itself, they're so creative. Like there are our fashion industry, there's so many designers, there's so many amazing artists, there's so many just amazing and furniture makers. There's so many amazing just creatives in general. There's so much of us, and I think it's because of just where we are and who we are. So
Yeah. So true. HSBC's hashtag is together, like I said earlier, let's love local. Together, let's love local. Raho, why is it important to love and support local design?
Primarily because it's an industry that has probably the last count more than 1.5 million jobs. the industry in itself is not just us designers, but it's a, as I said, a collective group of individuals that are all connected to each other. If you support this particular industry, you support the community of artisans, of models, of creatives that essentially builds this economy. And I think it's very important that you support intrinsically local businesses and local products, because that's the only way we can crawl out of this situation. Unfortunately, we are going through a recession, Anton, and this is a really
Mm-hmm.
dark period in the business landscape of the Philippines. And we really truly need to sort of like hold each other's hands and combine all our efforts so that we can come out of this alive. Only by actually buying products made in the Philippines can you make that interaction and strengthen the economy and strengthen the community. And I encourage and I'm begging everybody who's watching this to begin start buying local, because once you do, you just now realize the impact that it has in our community.
So well said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Dennis, you want to say something, or
No, it's
you want to add
actually
something?
buying local is basically helping ourselves. It's the only way to do. The only way to get up and rise is, helping ourselves, helping fellow artists, fellow businessmen, and when you give them a hand, you basically help everyone in the company, their families, their kids. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the best time to do that. I mean, right now.
Mm-hmm. Great. How do you incorporate Filipino culture in your projects? Is there anyone want you can? It's for everyone.
I think we
Patty?
always do.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I think we always do, because when we create something, we always think of Filipino consumer, of Filipino client. So every creation that we can think of is actually incorporating Filipino sensibility and the essence of being, a Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my case, I can't help it. I'm Filipino. I live here. I grew up here. I mean, obviously, we have different points of inspiration, but at the end of the day, it's still what makes us unique is
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
Filipinism, our being Filipino, and the way we approach these kinds of sensibilities. And I believe that what makes the Filipino designer important and different from the rest of the world is we make do with so little. I mean, you guys realize that we have very little things. We don't have the most beautiful fabrics. We don't have the most beautiful machineries. We don't even have proper buttons and proper zippers. But if you put our work side by side with the world's best designers, I guarantee you we're head to head in terms of talent, creativity, and genius. I'm a strong believer in that because they have everything
Mm-hmm.
and we have nothing, and yet we are head to head in terms of all of our work collectively together. I for one, I believe I believe that.
Yes, and I think you all do as well, right? You guys. We have two more last questions before our quick fire, which I shared here earlier. And I would love everyone to answer this question: is what's something positive that you can take from all of this? Patty, you want to start with you?
I think for me, it taught me to really work with my team. I think now is the biggest trial that my team could ever have, and as long as we survive we survive this, we get out of this as a whole. I think for me, it's already the biggest achievement and lesson my company will have. It's very challenging. Just to think about the workforce, how can everyone still come in? How can everyone communicate? Which is, I think, the most difficult part. But again, thanks to technology, everything is still going smoothly. So I think that one it will hold my team stronger than ever.
Mm-hmm. Great, Mark.
Yeah, similar to what I said earlier and what Patty said, it's all the challenges that we've gone through and that we've learned. Also, again, learning how we've learned how to make these new collections and these beautiful collections with a lot less than what we had before this whole pandemic. Even just going through our files now and our fabrics, it's like, less than half of what we're used to when you're doing a collection, and our options are basically like nil. Like right now for my holiday collection, I didn't even go out. I just really went to my back room and sorted all my fabrics together to build this holiday collection. So it's very, very helpful in a way as well.
Mm-hmm. Great. Raho?
As for me, really, the biggest realization of this pandemic is that during the pause, I realized that I needed this. I needed this sabbatical. I needed this uh, pause to rethink and re-evaluate what we're doing. Not only to the way I create, but generally to the world. All the wasteful bad habits and practices that my community has been doing, and I myself have been practicing. All the waste, all that hype that we are not necessarily needed in terms of creativity. For me, my biggest realization is I needed this break. I needed this sort of like shock to the system so that I not only become a better designer, but I become a better human being and a better person at that. So for me, I'm very
Mm-hmm.
grateful. I mean, it's very sad to think that I thought that, this is the most terrible thing, but in many ways, I'm quite happy to share with you that I thrived during this particular period because I needed it.
Great. Dennis?
Me, I think the my lesson is the realization that I'm willing to do work 100 times more with 100 times more determination and drive, and then that you can't give up because what you're doing is not just for yourself but for the people that you have in your shop. And then uh, you have this realization also that your profession, the thing that you love most, is what will keep you going also.
Mm-hmm. Good. And last but not least, Vanya.
I think everyone said it really well. Um, Going through all of this is a unique experience for everybody. We have learned our own sets of lessons through the challenges that we individually had to go through. And for me, in particular, it was just really about what the company was about to be, and what the importance of people in it, and just really being able to take the challenges from everything that we went through and use it as fuel to become better, and reassess, reevaluate, and just push through, push through. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, we are on our quick fire question, which is theme is love local. So can we have everyone on the screen? Everyone on the screen? Yes. So I'm going to start. So this is going to be really fast, and you guys have to, answer on the top of your head. Okay, we'll start with Mark because from my. So it's going to be Mark first. Favorite spot in the Philippines?
Amanpulo.
Raho,
My beach house.
Dennis,
Anywhere with beach, as long as there's a beach.
Vanya,
Cebu.
Patty.
Palawan.
Okay, besides yourself, who's your favorite local designer? Mark,
Salvation Lim Higgins.
Raho,
Pepito Albert.
Dennis,
My idol, Ino Soto.
Vanya.
Everyone here.
Good answer. Patty,
Since I'm the youngest, that's my answer. Everyone here, everyone's talented in their own ways.
Oh,
great, great. Okay, What's your favorite Pinoy food, Mark?
Anything with ginataan.
We're the same one.
Raho?
Sinigang na baboy.
Anything
Me
with
too, I love
coconut
that.
milk. Basta may gata.
Yes.
Vanya?
Lechon, Cebu lechon.
Oh yeah.
Patty?
Tuyo and maalat na itlog.
Sarap.
Yeah. Tuyo at maalat na
Great.
itlog.
Okay, who's your favorite Filipino artist? It could be a singer, an actor, painter, etc. Mark,
HR Ocampo.
Raho,
Lahol Yambien.
Dennis,
Lilac Kanya. She's a soprano singer. Soprano. Yeah.
wait, I've never heard it. Where is she around? Is she?
She sings Kundiman. Yeah, she's around. She sings Kundiman.
Oh, okay. Someone to look forward to look into. Vanya,
Then cab.
Patty,
Me, Gary V.
yes. My favorite. I know you're not asking me, but I want to just answer. Mine's Leia Salonga.
Yeah.
I love Leia.
We love Leia.
I know. I can watch her on YouTube every day. I watch her like all the time. Anyway, it's not about me, but anyway, what's your secret place in the Philippines that may not be on everyone's radar? Mark.
Oh, crap. I don't know. My new studio.
So now we have to go there.
Yeah.
Raho.
Batanes.
Dennis.
The rock formations in Biri, Northern Samar. That's where my ancestors come from, actually.
Wow. Vanya.
The secret lake in Siargao.
The secret lake in Siargao. Okay. Patty.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Somewhere in Palawan. I don't know.
Aman Pulo.
Everyone's been going there.
I know. It's the best place. It's always El Nido as well. But anyway, we have some questions from the audience. So we're going to start off with that. First question from Jojo Chanel. Wow. Or Channel. Chanel. What particular inspiring positive attitude amidst the pandemic can you give to the viewers now? Anyone can answer that.
Well,
I mean, in my case, it's always about perspective. I mean, in the midst of all this chaos and pain, a lot of people are in pain, Anton. And Jojo, if you're listening, there's a lot of people who are in pain. And you have to sort of like realize that sometimes what you're going through is just temporary. And what we're all going through is temporary, that tomorrow will be a better day. So you hold on to that. You hold on to the fact that this is just a hurdle, a difficult hurdle nonetheless, and shift that perspective towards that attitude, because that attitude will truly help you pull yourself together and rise from these dark times.
Good answer. Anyone wants to add on to that? No? Okay, let's go to the next question. From Matet Reyes. What locally sourced material are you most proud of? And how do you use them in your creations?
I love using piña.
Yeah, I think it's still piña.
Yeah, I think
so
piña would
Piña.
be
And I just did a piña wedding gown last week.
Beautiful,
Nice.
no? Unique material to us.
Beautiful,
Like,
Mark. I saw that.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. From Eugene Malabad. Question for all of them. What is your creative process like? Let's start off with Mark.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's kind of hard. I don't have a specific creative process. It varies every time. I used to just say travel, but now we can't do that. So
Yeah.
it's either traveling or really the women that we dress. they're also a very big source of inspiration to us.
Yeah. Raho, do you want to answer?
For me, my creative process always begins with questioning certain problems. I mean, I think designers in general are problem solvers. We essentially have to be in that mindset of how to address the situation with solutions at hand. We are also part in the business of creating dreams. So in many ways, we are a lot of times not only dressmakers but also psychiatrists, psychologists. At the end of the day, I'd like to think that everybody that leaves my studio comes out empowered, comes out at least feeling better about themselves. So in many ways, I start my process by asking questions and figuring out how to approach these situations and come up with solutions. So that's one of the processes I do.
Creative.
I ask questions, then get answers.
Dennis?
For me, it's always and always starts with inspiration, be it from music, from people I see right now in YouTube, from fabrics. It starts with that, almost and always. I mean, consistently. Things that piques my interest, that things that I fall in love with.
Mm-hmm. Vanya?
For me, I don't have a step-by-step method about how my process for getting inspired, but I think for me it's almost always emotional. So whatever I'm feeling at the moment, or how I want to project those feelings, or how I see my client, how I see this woman, if she's joyful, if she's sexy, or she's mysterious, or even when I do a show, like how do I feel at the moment, and what emotions do I want to portray. It always starts from there, and then it sort of flows. There's really no calculated process for me. It's just really organic.
Mm-hmm. Patty?
For me, it's also hard right now, no, because traveling is also a big part of my process. What usually do is, I travel, I inhale the culture, I suck in the culture, and then I buy materials there, so I have that piece of culture with me, and then I come home, I lock myself in the studio, having all the materials, and then I start the designing. But now it's a bit more challenging because we can't do that, and we have to work with what we have. But it's enjoyable challenges that we have these days, because it makes us more creative. It makes us think more and find more ways on how to have this beautiful thing come out after. Yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay. From Christine Three Santos, being icons in the fashion industry, have they discovered another interest outside of fashion design during this period of confinement? Furniture making.
Yeah, furniture
Everyone's
making.
doing furniture.
No
No,
one's cooking.
I'm, I,
Um,
I want to be a farmer.
A
um,
farmer and a yeah. Mark, go ahead.
so yeah, well, I think a lot of people. So I started painting as well during the lockdown and designing furniture.
Wow.
So
Fantastic.
Um,
Dennis? Oh, sorry, Rao, you
Mm,
wanted
okay, go ahead.
I know
no,
you, Rao. Rao is farmer and a fantastic chef. I hear your food's amazing in all your Instagram
yeah,
posts.
yeah, I'm learning how to cook, so I'm going well, but not for business or just for pleasure. Living
Yeah.
in the Bukid really makes you creative, primarily because you have so little, but yet you have to utilize what you have there, and you
Yeah,
become truly more
farm,
creative
farm to table,
by
farm to
nourishing
table.
yourself. Yeah.
Farm to table. Yeah. Dennis, you?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing sports, so uh, I'm doing it
You've
more
been running
now. And
marathons, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing it
You've
more
done
now than
marathons.
before, because I have so much time. Yeah. So,
Great.
but
Vanya?
then in yeah,
Oh, great.
go ahead. I'm done.
Okay, Vanya?
Just being locked in the house for much longer. You're surrounded by your home, so it's just natural that for me, like the purchases at least that I've been currently, collecting or like things for the home, I think it's a very natural thing because you're here, your home is your sanctuary, and you, whether it be plants or collecting little pieces of art, it's just being surrounded or being, unusually staying longer in your home. It just, of course, reflected, I think, in my interest for homeware. So it's a very interesting new love I've found for these things.
Yeah, Patty?
Okay, mine is a bit off. I'm super addicted now to K dramas. Oh my gosh, I'm
A
so
lot of people are addicted
with their
to that.
culture,
I
how they
saw
are
you with your
there.
BTS the other
Oh my
day.
gosh, I'm a BTS minion, super addicted to Korean drama, everything about them, their food. So once this is over, Korea will be the
You're going to
first.
Korea.
I will go with you.
Korea.
Is everyone into Korean K drama as well? Is everyone a fan, a big fan
I
I
watched
Oh
my
my
never
in
first
this
gosh.
group?
drama
Good,
last
good, good.
month.
lockdown.
Dennis
It was,
Raho, you guys are you guys
No,
K
What is
drama
that?
no, no,
fans?
no.
No, I haven't touched any Korean
Not yet.
telenovela yet.
You have
Me,
Not
to.
yet, no.
You should
That's
me,
what I've been saying before as well. But then because of the pandemic,
Yeah, but everybody is I know.
I just
are
fin-
obsessed with it. Yeah.
I just finished
Go
the
ahead.
married life,
Oh my
and I
goodness,
just
you're
finished
so
the married
oh,
life. Na-stress ako. Oh my God. As in, Nix and I were looking at each other. It's one of the most stressful things I've seen.
yeah.
So stressful.
Okay. Oh, from Ferdy. Hey, Ferdy. Nice to see you. And also, my friend PJ is watching from New York. Hey, PJ. For all the
Oh my
designers,
goodness.
which is harder to dress or design for men or women? Which is harder to dress men or women or design for men or women? Mark.
well, right now I only do women's wear, so I would say it'd be harder to design for men.
Women. Yeah. Same.
It's
Yeah, Rahul
actually
does both.
Yeah.
Rahul, you do both, right?
yeah.
I don't designing is not difficult. It's like water for me. It's like breathing. So
Yeah.
no Ferdy, they're the same. They're not difficult at all. Designing for Ferdy is difficult. How's that?
Okay, from Gel Arcega, what is the edge of the Philippine fashion scene amongst its Asian neighbors? Good question, Gel.
Ooh.
Anyone wants to say anything? So, what is the edge?
the end.
Spirit.
Um,
I mean,
for
I
me,
think
yeah.
it's the passion.
Go
I
ahead, Dennis.
think because as Rahul said a while ago, no matter how little things that we have, I mean, we still create and make the best of what we have at the moment. But I think we can do more actually if we have government support and we have a proper industry wherein there's a textile, a design, and the manpower. Right now we don't have a proper textile industry, so that's why the designers are forced to get materials abroad. Um, yeah, the thing is, given that situation, we still go on, and then we continue creating with passion. So that's our edge as Filipino designers.
Well, if you
Great.
ask me,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rahul. Yes.
If you ask me, our edge is basically our DNA. Remember, we are the first global person. Essentially, we have been homogenized and infused by so much different cultures as Filipinos. We have the Malay, we have the Spanish, we have the Japanese, we have the Americans. All of this amalgamation creates this sort of like really unique perspective and point of view by making truly global because it's part of our DNA. That's what makes us different as designers among the region because we have flavors within us that have been infused because of the people who have colonized us. And that is, for me, why we're uh, an edge over them.
Different. Yeah. Yeah. Good answer. Um, anyone else want to chime in? Okay, because that's the last question. So that's it for this edition of Tatler Talks. Thank you guys so much. That was amazing and inspiring and informative. You want to say something before we go, Mark? You want to start with you to the viewers out there?
I
Keep
just want to say
believing.
thank you for having me, and thanks for tuning in tonight, and hopefully see you all soon.
Yes, Patty.
Same. Thank you for having me. It was nice always seeing you guys, this group. And just to everyone, just don't lose hope. You know, everyone's on the same pace, everyone's on the same level, everyone's having a hard time, but just keep on going.
Yes, Vanya.
Thanks for inviting me. It's great to see everyone again. It always inspires me to see all these amazing designers. And yeah, so like Pat said, we're all in this together. So stay safe and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll all get through this.
Dennis.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity actually. But then I want to call all our clients here. We're open for business. It's holiday.
Yes,
Please call us for
call
your
them up.
orders, and we're ready to work on them again. Thank you, Anton. Thank you.
Exactly. Welcome, Raho.
Oh, thanks, Anton. Thanks, Mark. Lovely seeing Patty and Dennis and Vanya. Lovely seeing your faces. I can't wait to see you all in RIL in real life. But in the meantime, I'd like to encourage everybody who's watching, please buy local. Please support us. And call us, all of us, and make your appointments to all your designers. And we will get through this only if we do it together.
Great. Thank you again.
Thank
Great
you.
message, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Anton.
much. Thank you,
Thank
everyone, for
you.
joining us tonight. Thank you, Raho, Dennis, Patty, Mark, and Vanya. Thank you to HSBC for partnering with us. Again, you can download the magazine, the October issue, for free on Magster. And the print copy is available now. Just email mark at tatlerphilippines.com. Let's continue to patronize the local fashion industry. Yes, we hope that this was inspiring, informative, and a learning experience for all of you. Important to not give up on your dreams. Keep the faith. God bless you guys. See you next time. Bye.